Hi everyone and welcome in this new video. In this video we are going to talk about string in Python. A string is just a way to contain text in our code. So a string is very useful, for example, if you want to display some information. For example, if I want to create a very simple string, I open a pair of quotes and I put in I'm an information, and I can run the cell using Shift and Enter. But here we can see that we still have the quote. If you want to delete the quotes, we can use the print function, which will allow us to return some string without the quote, only the content of the quote, of the string, sorry. So now we are going to see how to add a tabulation in a string. So it can be very useful, for example, when you do, a backtest and you want to display some metrics. So to do it, for example, we can do it like this. Mean is equal to 10% and volatility equal 10%. But the problem with this way to write it is that it will be very difficult to see which value is associated to which metrics, so we can add a tabulation to a better visualization of our metrics. So to do tabulation, we need to put a \t operator in the string like this, and then we have a tabulation. We can also skip a line if we want. So to do it, we just have to put the \n operator in the string. And now we have skip a line. So we have two ways, for example, for our hypothetical backtest to display our metrics. Now we have seen only the very simple way to create a string. Sometimes a simple string is not enough. We need to create a dynamic string. Why? For example, if you have created an algorithm and each day you want to see the price of an asset, for example, Tesla. If you create a simple string like this, Tesla stock price at date for example, each day we need to change it manually, the value. So there is no need to put a string if each day we need to change it. So now we need to use the format function in our string. So to do it, we are going to put empty pair of braces when you want to add a dynamic value. So for us is for the price and for the date. So then we need to put the format function, and now we need to specify the value. For example, this and this. But actually, it doesn't make any sense because now we have also put the value manually. But it will be very interesting when we are going to work with variable in the next video. So it is very important to understand the way to create a dynamic string, even if now we don't have a really interest to use it because we don't know variable. But when we are going to see a variable, this type of string will be very interesting. So another way to create a dynamic string is the f string. So to do it, we just put a f before the string and we put exactly the same string, and between the braces we need to put the variable. So for us now is just some value, but later it will be very interesting to work with that. Now I just want to show you a little specificity. Since the beginning of the video, I only write string using a double quote. But it is important to know that you can create a string using double quote or simple quote. And here it is mandatory to use simple quote. Why? Because we already are in a string. So if here I will put double quote, Python doesn't understand that this is a string inside this big string. So there is an error. So it is really mandatory to put single quote here. Now we are going to see how to round a number into a f string. So to do it is really simple. So I will take only the price of Tesla because a date cannot be round. So in the real life, the price of Tesla is with many number after the point. For example, we can have a price like this. But for us, all this number, for example, are not significant. So we want to round our number to have a better visualization when we are going to display this string. To do it, we need to use this operator. So this operator means that we are going to round this number with two numbers after the point. If I change the 2 in 3, for example, we will have 3. If I put 1, we have only 1, etc. Then we have one thing to do before finish this video, which is the slicing on a string. For example, if I take our first string, I'm an information, sometimes we want to extract some word or letter. to do it, we can put a pair of brackets, and if you want only a letter, you can add the index of this letter. So in Python, we begin to count from 0. So the I here is at the index 0. So if I launch the code, we have only the I. If I want a word, for example, we put a double point to tell to Python that we want this part of this string. So if I want this, for example, I will put 0 from 0 to 6, and I will have only this part of the string. So it is also important to understand it, because sometimes in your own project, it will be very, very, very interesting to know this slicing on a string, because it will avoid you a lot of work. So again, I really invite you to play with all this new operation, and if you have any problems, you can ask in the Discord forum, and the link is here.